So, Settlements Rising is a new medieval city builder, and there's also like colony management and things like that in the game. And what we're going to do in this video is go through if I believe it's worth playing the game or not. And just very quickly before we get into this one, a massive thank you to Keymailer for giving me a key to play the game early. And I'm going to say with this one, I kind of got hooked on it. This isn't just like a generic sort of city builder. You start with your town centre as level 1, you can upgrade it later in the game. Then you have to put down your houses, like you've got your basic sort of city building, but when you have your people like roaming through your city and stuff, they start off quite young and over time they are going to do different jobs, they're going to build up their skill sets within the jobs, and unfortunately over time they get old and they will eventually die. But this game goes through all the different seasons, and during the winter you're going to get illnesses like common colds and things like that. And with this one, I didn't want any sort of a challenge. I wanted to just relax and build a little city. So I turned off all the raids and stuff because there are raids, there is combat in this game. But I changed all of the parameters so that that wasn't a thing. I could basically just build up my colony and see where it would take me. So you start off, you're putting down like hunting huts and gathering huts to get berries and like medicinal things. And when you're building different buildings, you've got your priority system, you've got little fishing huts, and you actually see, like, one of the things I really enjoyed about this game is you actually see your people getting on fishing boats, going out and actually casting a rod in the water and catching fish. So you make progress through all of the huts and stuff. You get miners' huts, you've got storage and stuff you can place. And then some of the buildings in this game have requirements, like you might need to have a certain population, you might need other buildings before you can craft certain ones. You also have upgrades to the houses and stuff where you can level them up so they hold more villagers and stuff. And I think it's just the way this game works in general. It is very relaxing. It's like a nice cozy chill game to just take your mind off everything around you and just sit there and work on building up your colony. As I said with the skill sets and stuff, there are over 35 different professions your villagers can basically take on. You're going to have your labourers, which are going to move resources to and from, and then say for an example you have built a fishing hut, your villager that's working on the boat over time is going to build up their skills within fishing. And when they go through the different stars of their rating, when they get to the max of 5 stars, they're going to bring in a lot more fish. So basically, they are becoming more skillful within their jobs, their professions, and they are becoming more efficient over time. But obviously, say for an example, you get your fishermen to a 5-star rating, then they get to around 55, 65 years old, they are going to pass away. So you've also got to build a cemetery, you need a grave digger, you need to you're basically building up a colony. So you're going to have these things happen, and it's very unfortunate when you have someone that's really skilled within their job and they go and die on you. It's actually quite sad. You see them get wheelbarrowed over to the cemetery, you see the grave digger dig their grave and then put their body in, they get a headstone and everything. And you have to keep everyone within your colony happy because over time they are going to have babies, they're going to get jiggy with it. They're going to have babies who are going to grow up and then eventually start working within the village and helping out. You're going to have to make sure they're healthy through medicines and stuff, like with your gatherers. You're going to have to make sure they're fed through fishing, hunting, and you eventually get livestock farms and everything where you can have chickens, sheep. And I like what they've done with the livestock because you can set a population limit of up to 20. I bought 2 chickens to start with, and they eventually start breeding themselves. And then once you get to the max of 20, any extras you have will basically go to the slaughterhouse and be turned to meat. So chickens are going to produce meat and eggs as well. And then what you can do with the meat is eventually get a smokehouse, turn it into smoked meat, and people are going to eat it and be happy from that. Because your villagers are going to complain if there's not a big variety of food. They're going to complain if the land value is low because you've got buildings like your compost yard. They're going to be undesirable to have around all of your houses and stuff, so they will lower the value of that piece of land where people are living. Whereas if you've got a healing hut, if you've got a school nearby, that's going to increase the land value. And when it comes to upgrading the houses, you need to have a land value of 50 for that individual house in order for the people to be willing to let their house be upgraded. And then one thing that's really unique, you don't see this in city builders at all really, is you have these things called enhancement cards. You're going to start the game with absolutely none, and over time you'll randomly get this sort of like card system pull up. It's going to roll between different rarities. You get common, uncommon, rare, and epic. And basically what this does is it's going to give you improvements. Like for an example, you could get plus 50 tools, plus 20 swords. They're all completely random. You can have the production of a specific building improved by 25%. And these enhancement cards can be placed on individual buildings, or they can be put on your town centre. But not only that, you don't have to use them straight away. You can save them for later. And say for an example, you're chilling like I was, you've got custom parameters, you've got no combat. If you wanted to, you could play through, get some enhancement cards for extra swords and benefits to your military. Then when you start a brand new game save, you could enable all the combat and you can have the buffs by getting the free swords and stuff through these enhancement cards. And as I said about having livestock to get, for an example, eggs and meat from chickens, in order to get your hands on livestock, because you need to have a livestock farm, then you're going to need to produce grains through crop fields. But to build a livestock farm to begin with, you need to have a trade-in dock, and then every now and then you're going to have random merchants come in that are going to sell you goods, and every now and then they might come along and they might have some chickens, they might have some sheep. They will occasionally sell you livestock so that you can start building the farms and start producing your own meat. Because another thing this game does is you need foresters for when you're chopping down trees, because you will run out of trees. Your hunters only have a limited amount of animals they can go and hunt before they run out, and you have to completely move them to a different area so they can continue. So it's very good having the trade-in ships available, because you can also sell all of your own stuff and you can get gold for it. And then you have things like a marketplace as well, where all of your extra stock from your storages will be taken by your villagers to your marketplace. They will sell it and make you some profit. So there is a lot to this game. It's in early access. They're planning for it to last in early access around 6 to 12 months. And they're wanting to add lots and lots of additional content and just make the game bigger and better than it currently is. But it's already a very, very good, enjoyable game. And another thing I really like is if you are interested in having the music playing in the background, but you're a content creator of any sort, they do have streamer mode, which is going to disable all of the copyright music because they've purchased tracks and they've made their own. So when it comes to the question, is it worth playing Settlements Rising? I am going to say yes. This was a very fun, relaxing city builder to play. I like how they've got the aging system in there with your villagers. I like how they've got things locked behind the population growth and having specific buildings set up, and you've got the land value. There is a lot to this game. It's nice and chill. The game looks good. I loved the art style and the fact that when you're putting down houses, they're not all identical. There are different variants to the houses you're building. And when I say variants, I don't just mean necessarily in their looks. Some of them are going to come with brick roofs, and some of them are actually going to come with wooden sort of rooftops and stuff. So I recommend giving this game a go. I've had a lot of fun with it, and what we are going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this game in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.